In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to scale up my business's content production up to 200 videos produced per month with over 300 content pieces produced across multiple different channels within just 4 months of me recording this video. And I forgot to mention, all of this is going to be done by a team consisting solely of myself and my AI agents. Now, everything I take you through in this video is going to be documented. And on January 1st of 2027, I'm going to make a follow-up video going through all the results and what kind of impact this scale of production has had on my business. Now, you might be asking, why are you even doing this? Well, it's because my co-founders and I are convinced that organic content is going to play a big part in helping scale our business to over 8 figures in annual revenue within the next couple of years. And we're willing to face the short-term pain of building a media business right on top of what we already have going and see those outsized returns come through in 12 to 18 months time. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Mahan. I'm the CMO of Nairon AI. And in this video, I'll take you through the exact timelines, strategy, schedules, workflows, SOPs, and tools I'm going to use to be able to make all of this happen within 4 months time. So let's get into it. All right, guys, once again, just to recap, this is going to be how we're going to end up producing over 200 pieces of video content and over 300 total content pieces, essentially across multiple different channels every single month by Q1 of 2027, which is a little over 4 months from the upload date of this video. I'm going to take you guys through exactly like why we're doing this, why we're placing such a big emphasis on organic content over the coming months, also our strategy and the different phases we're going to go through to ramp up to that point. And I'll take you guys through the tools that we're also going to be using to be able to produce this amount of volume, all with essentially a one-man team. I'm going to be on camera primarily with one of my business partners, but production, pre-production, and post-production is going to be led by myself. So it's going to be super exciting. And we can dive right into essentially why it is that we're putting such an importance on organic content moving forward for our business. So for those of you that are new to Nairon and what it is that we do, we're a tech company that specializes into integrating AI agents into businesses, typically doing anywhere from $2 to $10 million a year. Now, over the last 12 months, we've worked with businesses primarily in solar, real estate, and property management. We also work with some businesses in logistics, and also some online service businesses, primarily marketing agencies as well. And really, over the last 12 months, our primary acquisition source has been through either cold outbound or referrals, but primarily, obviously, the more reliable one being cold outbound. So that's primarily cold email, very targeted cold calls as well, and also LinkedIn outreach. So that's a stack that we have currently with our cold outbound. We also do get referrals, but as you would know, operating a business, that's not the most reliable source of client acquisition. So if you've ever read the book Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross, which I highly recommend to any CMO out there, especially if you're a CMO in a tech company, there are 3 primary ways of acquisition. And in his book, he breaks it down into seeds, nets, and spears. It's essentially a simplified way of saying you have seeds, which is organic content, something that you put out there and it grows for you over time. You have nets, which is like paid ads. You essentially grab attention, just like how you would cast out a net in the ocean and you'd catch a bunch of fish. That's pretty much how paid ads work as well. And you have spears, which is essentially outbound. Now, the thing about outbound and paid ads is that it almost goes up in a linear fashion. More or less, the more outbound you do, the more leads you generate, and the more ads you run, the more money you spend on ads, the more leads you'll generate as well. Now, they're both to some extent with diminishing returns. That obviously depends on your TAM, your budget, a whole bunch of different factors. But for any business, especially if you're doing, say, less than $10 million a year, it's a pretty linear trajectory of how much input goes in and how much results you actually get. That being said, we want to start setting the foundation of what our marketing needs to look like for our business to get to $8 million in annual revenue per year and beyond within just the next couple of years. And the conclusion we've come to is that organic content is going to play a big part in that. So again, as you would see in the chart here, organic content is primarily a non-linear channel, meaning you're not going to see crazy results from it in the short run, but it's going to give you outsized returns in the long run. And the best part is it's also going to support all the other channels as well. So if you have paid ads and you also already have great organic content, that's going to drastically help your results. The same way goes if you're doing cold traffic. If you're sending people to, say, a video sales letter on your YouTube channel with so much social proof, you're also going to see really good results from there. So investing in organic content is really a long-term play. And as you can see here, the primary reason why most businesses don't end up starting is because, one, obviously there's no short-term results. You can start doing cold email tomorrow and you can start seeing results within a couple of days. Same thing goes for paid ads. But with organic content, it does take quite a bit of time for you to start seeing those results really come in. The second thing is that it's difficult to master. You can't really compensate for a lack of skill. You can obviously hire really good people to help you with organic content, but the learning curve is arguably much steeper than it is for, say, paid ads or even cold email. The third thing is that it's difficult to stay consistent. It's very difficult to record every single week, actually show up and put in the effort to production. And the last one is it's extremely time consuming and expensive. For us to be able to produce over 200 video content pieces per week, we'd probably have to record for a minimum of 12 to 15 hours per week, which is essentially 1 to 2 days solely dedicated to recording content. So our target with the size that we currently are at the business is to start now, prioritize distribution, which is why we're going after so much volume, optimize our content and get very good at what we do. And lastly, funnel that traffic directly into our business and get more clients, right? So that's the entire game plan for us. Now, one more thing that we also considered, because again, you have to weigh the pros and cons of doing this. Obviously, it's very time consuming and there's no real answer to when you start seeing those outsized returns. They will come in time, but organic content is much more difficult to predict than, say, once again, paid ads or cold outbound. So one thing that really affected our decision making and going all in is understanding what the competition level is for attention right now versus how easy it is to actually produce content. As you can see here, it's essentially a race against time right now. If you just take a platform like YouTube, which came out in 2006, obviously competition for attention was very low. There were likely 1, maybe 2 experts in every niche. There were less users and viewers, but there were also less creators. As time has moved on, essentially 20 years from the inception of YouTube, in 2026, we're here where competition for attention now is a lot higher. Just look at our niche, for example. There are so many creators coming out every single week who are in the tech space, who are in the AI space, who are making videos very similar to us. And competition for attention is only going to increase from here. And again, because it's so much easier to produce content now than it was 20 years ago, we're also going to see a lot more people adopt. We're also going to see it become a lot easier for more people to produce more content without needing too many resources. So it's always going to be easier for you to start now than it is going to be in 2 years. So what is our plan for actually doing this? We're structuring our content in a format very much like a marketing funnel. We have our top of funnel content here, which is primarily going to be for lead generation. And we have our middle and bottom of funnel content here, which is primarily going to be for lead nurture. Our top of funnel videos are going to go on our personal channels, which is going to be my own channel where you're seeing this video right here, and Luca's channel, who's our CEO and is also going to be producing content with me en masse. Middle and bottom of funnel content, there is an error here. We'll be going into our business channels, which is Nairon AI. Going into the outlook of essentially how we're going to pull this off. Essentially, we've broken it down into phases. So phase number 1 is essentially where we start on long form video. As you'll see shortly, long form video or YouTube video production is going to be the primary lever for us in this entire operation. Phase 2 is going to be us introducing clips and short form video into the mix as well. And in phase 3 and 4 is where our text platforms start coming into play as well. Also where we really start ramping up and scaling pretty much across every single channel. So we're also going to be very active on LinkedIn. We're already active on LinkedIn, but we're going to be more intentional with what we post. Same thing goes for X. And obviously, we're going to be very active on the newsletter side with Kit, which is going to be our platform for sending newsletter campaigns. Once again, our core strategy is going to be with YouTube being the key. And YouTube is essentially going to feed into every other channel that we are going to produce on. Obviously, every single format and every single channel and every single platform is going to have their own little nuances, right? So what works on YouTube will probably not work on LinkedIn. There are those little nuances that you have to abide by on every single platform. That being said, just from a production and pre-production standpoint, YouTube is going to be the most labor intensive. And so especially when you start integrating AI systems in, you want to take what's going to have the most amount of meat and content and nuance and then break it down into the different platforms. So we're going to dive into phase number 1, which is essentially where we are right now. We're somewhere around day 47 or 48 right now. And phase 1 is from day 0 to day 60. So we started producing content pretty much on the 1st of June. And our entire objective was to produce one long form YouTube video essentially every single day. So far, that's led to 4 top of funnel long form videos per week. That's 2 on my channel, or this channel that you're watching this video from right now, and 2 on Luca's channel. We were doing a lot more work on our middle and bottom funnel content, which is the Nairon AI channel that we have. So far, we have like 32, 33 videos on there, and it's only been 45 days. But we're ramping that down. We want to make that content also a lot more intentional. It's been more on the education side so far in the last 45 days. And so we're going to ramp that down into 3 videos per week, which is the pace that we're at right now. So as it stands, we're at 7 content pieces every single month. So how do we scale up from here? That takes us to phase 2, which is going to be day 60 to 90. This is where we start introducing clipping into the mix. So really taking our long form videos, clipping the highlights, and turning into short form video to be put out on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. This is going to lead us to 14 total top of funnel clips per week. That's 1 clip per day per top of funnel channel. So again, my channel and Lucas' channel. And the same thing goes for the middle and bottom of funnel, where we're gonna have 7 clips produced every single day and uploaded every single day. Now the clips are gonna be unique, but of course they're gonna be uploaded on Shorts, Reels, and TikTok. So that's a multiple of 3 just on the platform. Now that's going to get us to 28 pieces per week. Now we're not producing any net new content in this phase. The primary goal here is to make our top of funnel long form even better and make a really good system around clipping that long form content, which is going to unlock that volume for us. Which then brings us to phase 3, which as mentioned earlier, is where we're going to start introducing text-based platform as well, like LinkedIn and X, alongside Kit for our newsletter campaigns. Now again, not much changes here, except for the fact that we're also going to start producing top funnel short form videos specifically. These aren't going to be just clips based out of the long form videos. These are going to be standalone shorts with their own strategy and its own standalone piece of content essentially. And we're just going to start with 3 short form videos per channel per week. From there, we're going to increase the number of clips we're getting from our middle of funnel and bottom of funnel videos, which is essentially going to lead us to 2 videos produced per day. And we're also activating the text platform. So for my own LinkedIn and for Lucas' LinkedIn, we're posting once daily. The same thing goes for X. And we're also putting out 1 newsletter campaign per week. As of now, we have in and around 150 to 200 people in our email list. By day 120, we're expecting that to go up to anywhere from 500 to 1,000. And the newsletter is going to be the ultimate bottom of funnel channel for us. It's going to be where we're actually going to book a lot of meetings, book a lot of calls with people that are genuinely interested in working with us. Last but not least, we have phase 4, and this is where we just scale. Again, we're not really adding any new channels here. We're just increasing the volume on pretty much everything that we were doing prior. Primarily on top of funnel, we're gonna add 1 more top of funnel video to each of our channels. So now we're producing 3 per week. We're keeping the top of funnel clips. We're also ramping up the top of funnel shorts. Nothing really then changes in middle and bottom of funnel. We really wanna go deep here rather than wide. So we're gonna spend a lot of time to produce content that's actually gonna be valuable for our ICP at a lower volume than say something like a top of funnel channel where we just wanna generate as much attention as fast as we possibly can to feed the rest of the system. We're gonna then keep the same pace on LinkedIn and X as well, and also ramp up our newsletter to 2 campaigns per week. Now that's gonna put us at 78 content pieces per week, which is around a total of 51 video pieces produced and a little over 300 content pieces in total, all again by January 1st of 2027. This is pretty much what the scale roadmap looks like at the moment. We are here right now and we're essentially 10xing or 11xing our output within just 4 months. Now I'm going to be making a separate video, especially around how we're doing post-production at the moment with AI tools like Claude Code and Codex and standard editing tools like Descript and Premiere, alongside Hyperframes, which is great for producing AI motion graphics. But on the pre-production and management side, we have Hive, which is our own proprietary platform, is where all of our AI agents actually live and operate. And Notion, which is essentially for where everything's gonna be stored, scheduled, for us to keep track of how much content we're producing, when we have to record what, and just staying on top of the entire operation as a whole. Now, last but not least, let's get into the SOP and workflow. Now, we're gonna be coming out of phase 1 in about 10 to 15 days. So our goal primarily for now is to be ahead of schedule by 2 weeks on content production. That's going to give us enough room to essentially film and upload breaking news within 24 hours. So say a new AI model drops, we need to record something ASAP and want to get that video up within 24 hours. We have the ability to do that without feeling a strain on the operation because everything else is going to be scheduled ahead of time anyways. So we're going to be operating at a surplus. Our schedule is going to look something like this. Saturday and Sunday are going to be primarily for filming. Currently, we're sitting at about 6 to 8 hours of recording time for all the long form videos that we're doing. This is definitely going to increase by the time we hit January. Monday to Wednesday are going to be primarily for post-production, and Thursday and Friday are going to be primarily for pre-production, which is again, the most important part of this entire piece because proper pre-production is going to be what's actually going to get us the results that we want. This isn't just about volume, it's also about quality and also maintaining a high quality of content as we start scaling up. So that pretty much brings us to the end of how we're gonna be doing this. And as mentioned previously, I'm gonna make a follow-on video for this, explaining exactly what kind of an effect this has had on our business. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you wanna get in touch with me directly, the best place to find me is on LinkedIn. The link is in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next one.